Hey guys, what's going on? Fruit Fast family. That's right, the 40-day fruit fast with Dr. Inky. My name is Marvin Burwell and I'm here to show you guys a dish that you can try during the 40-day fruit fast. Okay, what we got going on here? We got a lot of ingredients going on here, right? I even got some show-off stuff for you guys, like Manuka honey. You always hear Inky talk about the Manuka honey. Well, this is the brand that I was able to grab, right? Can you guys see that? Yeah, Manuka honey, baby. All right, what else we got? Pineapple. I'm making a stir fry, so there's a pineapple for you guys to check out. Now, some people like something sweet in their stir fry. They might do pineapple in it. Not me. It's kind of just there for show. Makes everything look pretty, right? Okay, what else we got going on here? Oh, Urban Nerds Worldwide t-shirt, baby. Make sure you guys go on YouTube and follow Urban Nerds Worldwide. That is our way of being able to help the young children in the community come up, learn more things about science, technology, engineering, math. You know, they learn design and gaming and all that stuff like that. But just go over to the channel, check it out, support it, because it's really going to help the future of our children. Okay? All right, what else we got here? Got the Big Balls cup of juice, baby. Gotta have that there with you. Check that out. Yeah. All right, let's dive right in, guys. So, what we got here? Some of the ingredients that we're going to need. First and foremost, I'm going to get some of these herbs out of the way, especially like the ones that kind of had like the wet herbs, as we call them, right? So we got ginger, and you know, ginger has gingerol in it, you know, different constituents, things or whatever inside of it.
There are all kinds of molecules.
That's going to help you, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, definitely helps with digestion. It's a very good thing to put in a lot of different meals, right? What else we got? This looks kind of the same as the ginger if you look at it, but this is actually turmeric root, the actual root, right? So we got some turmeric, so you guys get to check that out. Very strong orange color. This will really stain you up if you kind of get it on your hands and you touch yourself. This will stain you up. So it's pigment heavy, which you guys are going to notice about this stir fry that I'm making. It's very pigment heavy. That's why a lot of this stuff is colored. What else we got going on? We got red and yellow bell peppers, right? So check those out, right? All right, what else we got on here on the table? We have a jalapeno. This is not the only thing we got for heat, but you know, just want to have something organic going on right there. We got a red onion. Red onion, gotta have that. Red onions have sulfur in them. Sulfur is very important. Garlic. Garlic, huge. It's got that zing to it. It's got a little bit of heat to it. Mixes quite well with ginger. Some people put it with like horseradish and cayenne and all kinds of hot-based stuff because it really helps with the digestive, but you can't have too much of those things when they're mixed because really burn you up and kind of mess up your digestive tract. So you got to be a little careful when you're combining some of these things, okay? All right, what else we got on here? These are nitrogen heavy, so if you have something like gout, you don't want to be taking too much of these, but this is going to be our heavy portion of our stir fry. Not meat, but broccoli. So we got some broccoli. We're going to cut these florets up, you know, take off the stalk, cut the florets up into individual pieces, and we're going to do something called blanching. So what that does is we hit it with some heat, and after we hit it with some heat, we hit it with some cold water right after, and you shock it. And when you shock it, it makes it turn vibrant green, and then it's prepared for our stir fry. Another big pigment and huge, because it's cruciferous, we got red cabbage. And this is a big deal. So I would suggest you guys get as much of this in as you can, especially those of you dealing with like cancer. I already mentioned the ginger, but cruciferous vegetables, red cabbage being a big one, baby. So make sure you guys get some cabbage. We got tons of things here when it comes to pigment. Look, we got an orange in here too. So we got carrots. You know, get some more color going on with the carrots, right? We got that. The yellow onion is here for show. Not going to be using that one. We're going to be using the red onion. So why do I have these ingredients and then you guys see these dry seasonings in front of me? One of the things I learned from chefs a long time ago is whenever you use what they like to call a wet ingredient, it's always good to follow it up with a dry one too. But just make sure you're not overdoing it. Like if you're going to use the wet turmeric, right? And I call it wet because once you shave this down, it like stains your hand and it has liquid in it. It's in its full organic form. So what I want you guys to make sure you do is, let's say you're using maybe, you know, a little 1-inch block of the turmeric, and that's how much it takes for the whole dish. Then if you're going to use the dry turmeric too, you want to cut that amount in half and then make the other half in the dry form, okay? So that's what you want to do. So we got the wet turmeric and we got the dry turmeric, okay? So these are the things you want to do. What else do we have? So let's see, which one of these we got? We got the onion, right? We got onion powder. We have the wet ginger, but then we also have the ginger powder. Okay, so be careful how you guys are using these things. If you use a large amount of the wet, use a little bit of the dry, or use equal parts amounts to taste, you know, however you season your food. Get accustomed to learning the different seasonings and using them individually when you guys make your dishes. That includes parsley, thyme, rosemary, and all those different herbal green ingredients that you guys can use. Don't use the pre-mixed stuff, because the pre-mixed stuff are usually heavy in something like sugar, salt. Usually the first few ingredients you see on those labels is what it has the highest amount of. So get away from the Lowry seasoning salt. Don't even use that. Don't even use the Morton sea salt. Like, don't use any of those things. Just get you straight up stuff. That's what you guys want to be able to do. There's a local olive oil place in my neighborhood, so we have the olive oil, right? So this is going to be fresh. I'm going to actually have to crack this one open. This is fresh and brand new. So, tools. We got some tools. We got the peeler. Gotta have the peeler. This is for the carrots. We got 3 different types of knives. When it comes to me cutting a lot of this different stuff, this knife seems to do it the best. So, the spreader, right? I just, you know, it cuts well. It's pretty sharp. It goes clean through a lot of things. Bread knife, because it's serrated. But even though it's a bread knife, I still, you know, I just choose the knife that I like to use different things for. Chef knife. We got this one. In case we got like something like the broccoli. I can go around the broccoli quick with this, okay? Or I can, before I start using the serrated blade on the cabbage, like this will go through it to cut it in half pretty quick, okay? So we got that there. I got these little dishes for things like when the ginger and garlic is done, I'll put them in like here. The carrots, when they're shaved, I'll have it in here. You know, I got different amounts of these. And then for some of the larger stuff, like the bell peppers and the red cabbage, which is about to roll off the table on me, I section them off in here and it'll look nice and pretty for you guys. So I'm trying to keep this real nice and neat and cool looking for you. What about back here on the stove area, right? So also for the carrots, gotta have the grater. So we're gonna have that there. Now, these two I'm gonna do last, but right now I got like a spaghetti pot full of water, and that's so that I can heat up the broccoli. And once the broccoli is heated up, literally send that water to boiling, drop the broccoli in once it's boiling, and wait 1 minute. As soon as you hit 1 minute, take the broccoli out, pour it into what we call a colander, because it's got holes in it, so the water runs out and the broccoli just sits there, and then run cold water over it, or get like a bowl like this, guys. You can get a bowl like this and put some ice water in it and have it ready on the side, and as soon as the broccoli comes out of the hot water, dump it right in the ice cold water, and you'll watch it turn vibrant green really quick. So yeah, that's one thing you can do. Now, the obviously for stir fry, I got 2 different spatulas here, so I can kind of two-hand the whole thing, right? We have a wok, copper wok, for the copper brands, right? So we got a copper wok, nice large lid. It's got a vent hole inside of it, right? The wok is the last part. This is where all ingredients get combined and then get moved around to add a little bit more heat to the entire pile, because what you're going to notice is when I cook these things, they get cooked from lightest to darkest. If you put a lot of these colors into the pot at the same time, they're going to blend. So for instance, if you put this in and then you put something as light as, like, even though we're not using it, you put like an onion in, this onion is going to turn that color. So you put the onion in first, and then you put this in. And this has to do with the color presentation of the dishes you guys are creating, okay? So that's the wok. Before we get to the wok, each individual ingredient is sauteed, except for the broccoli. The broccoli will already be ready on its own to go right into the wok. But we saute things individually. So like I said, from light to dark, right? So we start with each one, put one in, cook it for about a minute or 2. Up to 3 if it's something like the carrots, right? We put that in, then we dump it out. Then we put the next thing in, and then we dump it out. Once we have everything dumped out and separated, now we heat the wok up. We hit it with the ginger and the turmeric inside of the olive oil. We get those flavors infusing into the olive oil real quick. Now it's time to dump all the ingredients in and start tossing and turning. And then we start hitting it with the seasonings. Voila, at the end, we have a nice, pretty dish. All right, guys, so that's the intro information. Let's get started on making the dish. Alright peoples, here we go. So the first ingredient we're going to slice up a little bit here is the ginger. Alright, so got my ginger down there. Let's pull up the old trash can because we're going to have to use our peeler, right, to get things popping. Alright, first thing we're going to do is try and break off as much as we plan on using. So I'm going to get a pretty husky piece because I want to use only the husky pieces, right? Something like that. Let's get another one. Another one like that. Alright, just enough to make a nice little pile when I'm done. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start using our peeler to shave this thing down. Alright. Alright, we got number 2 shaved down. Sit that down there. Let's move these other pieces aside. And what we're going to do is we're going to start mincing this thing up. So I know you guys, when you're cutting this stuff, I know you can smell the ginger, the aromaticity, right? The aromatics of the actual herb. The stronger the smell, the more aromatic. That means the more potent it actually is for you. So if you guys are getting ingredients and you can barely smell them, a lot of the strength behind those ingredients are actually gone. So keep that in mind when you are smelling your ingredients. Alright peoples, the next thing that we are going to deal with is the turmeric. So you guys will get a chance to see the color that is turmeric. And you can kind of see a little bit of it already if you look inside this area. So let's shave it down as we do all things, right? See that color, guys? Even my hand, if you guys look at my hand, I have the color of the turmeric like on my fingers and stuff. That's how strong the pigment is in it. Now remember guys, turmeric is pretty strong, so don't use but so much of it when you do it. So we're gonna cut this down too. Alright. Alright guys, the next one that we're going to cut up is going to be the garlic. So let's break into that. Alright guys, what we got here about 5 cloves of garlic. One of the ways that I learned that you're supposed to pretty much open up garlic is you just smash it. So you like take your knife. Let's use the the chef knife. It's more sturdy, it's not flexible. It's easier to use when we do this, so take it, smash it, and once we smash it, the skin comes right off. Okay? Alright guys, so I got a couple of carrots here and I got the shredder here waiting for them. I've already used the peeler to take down the skin of the carrot. Now I'm going to take off these ends. Got that off. Now, we just start grinding these babies down. Let's do it this way so you guys can see it. Let's go husky in first. We got us some nice little scrapings there. Alright, we got carrot. Next, guys, I'm going to get the big husky boy right here. Instead of that, I feel like because this one isn't too husky, I'm going to use the serrated knife for this one. Take that stem off. All right. Carve the boy in half. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to shred it down that way. Move this over. Stand it up on the side that you know, that we had the stalk on. And we're just going to thin slice it so that we get good shreds this way. Stack them up and start shredding them up. Put that in here too. Here you guys have it. We got the carrot, we got the red cabbage in there too. All right, so let's put that aside. Next, guys, we're going to do the bell peppers. We got yellow, we got red. I'll rinse them off. All right, let's tackle the yellow one first. So first thing we do, let's get that core off. Pull these inside parts out. Dump out the seeds. And there we go. Inside of that, just cut it down. Alright, you guys can kind of do what you want, but what I generally do is, just to make a flat cutting surface, I kind of get these like edges that stick out. I kind of take those off. You can discard them, you can throw them in there, use whatever you guys want. But me, it's just for the sake of things looking a certain way. And then I like to cut these like in strips. Alright, so we got strips of yellow bell pepper. And we have a little bowl for that, so we're going to toss this right in. Alright, there we have it. Set that aside. Let's go right into the red. And we have our red bell peppers cut. Let's put those in the jar too. And got a jar of that. And we got jalapeno pepper, right? So let's cut that off. Now, just so you guys know in advance, people use gloves for this part, so it's recommended. But we got to dump the seeds out, and usually I take my finger and I just push them right out, but obviously then the heat gets on my hand, and if you touch your face the wrong way or get some juice in your eye, well, then that's going to be a quite an annoying experience. So I'm just warning you guys in advance. Alright, so you guys are going to see me strip this up, but I strip it up, but I don't leave it like that. I actually mince it down a little bit. If you're not a fan of heat, you can leave this part out. But we have a small bowl for that too. Sit that aside. Alright. Now, last thing we got to do before we head into the cooking phase is the red onion. So this is the point where you guys want to start heating up your pot of water so that you can eventually blanch this broccoli. Okay? And let's get going on the red onion. Now we get the broccoli ready. And we're just pretty much going around the different florets. Kind of going on an angle here. And we'll get rid of the stalk. Go around the second one. And then we're just going to cut this down into like bite-sized pieces. And this really helps when you blanch them too, because then a lot of the heat from the water can get to the core faster. Now that you can see kind of how it looks, we're going to move this over to the hot pot and then into the cool water. Alright, you guys see that we got our hot pot of water. It's got bubbles in it, so we know it's at a good temperature, and you're not going to leave this in here long. So start putting the broccoli in. And press them down to make sure that the hot water gets to all the pieces. And we're going to wait about a minute and 45 tops. We're going to get the cold water ready because we want to shock them. Alright guys, so here's all of our cut veggies and stuff. Including the broccoli and the onions. Discarded items over there. But like I said, see how vibrant that broccoli is? This is why you want to be able to shock it. Let's really get in there. See that color? That's what you want. So now you see, you pretty much got pigment galore, right? Colors everywhere. So let's get into the cooking phase. First things first, people. We got to pop open the olive oil. So we add some olive oil to the pan and we move it around. Right. And we got a nice little heat on the pan already. If your stove has like the numbers, then this is on about 4, which is about medium low. So you don't want to break the smoke point of any oil, because if you do that and it starts steaming and stuff, then your oil is now rancid, which is not very good nutritionally. Let's start off with yellow bell peppers. And we're just hitting them with a little olive oil to glaze them, bring out the color a little bit more. And then after that, we're going to add everything to the wok. So you're only lightly cooking everything, okay? Slide on over to the red boys. All right, that in there. These have water in it, so you won't hear the same sizzle, obviously, because the water calms down the pot. And use this to soak up whatever olive oil is left, and then for the next thing we're going to add more olive oil to it. Pop the top and do a little bit more olive oil. And let that heat up again. And we're going to move on to carrots. Alright, let's get that in there. Alright, we're going to glaze these carrots with the olive oil. Like I said, we're getting everything nice and ready for the wok. As usual, once the oil gets a little hot, now we're going to do red cabbage. Alright, let's let that cabbage soak up some of the oil. Alright, now we're going to dump that in the bowl. Alright guys, at this point, now it's time to bring the wok in. And you would think, why bring the wok in now? Why didn't we just bring it in before and start cooking stuff? Because everything that's left is small and it can soak up the oil real fast and cook on its own, and then all the other large stuff can get added in right after. So, alright, as usual, first things first, let's drop in the old oil. Got our oil in the pan, and we're going to wait for that to heat up a little bit. Alright guys, so here we go. We got the wok popping, and we've added our jalapeno, garlic, ginger, turmeric, the minced ingredients, if you will, into the oil, and we got that going. It's been in here for about a minute or so. Onions too, let's get that in there. Let's let the oil hit that, along with the other flavors. Tilt it into the light so you guys can see it a little bit more. Right, we got those flavors infused into the oil. Now it's time to bring the broccoli back in. Bigger pieces require bigger spatula. So let's turn that in. And let's get all the other goodies in. Now you guys are really seeing the colors work in the pan. Everything coming together. Let's mix all of that in. Now, I got some red chili pepper. Open up the husky jar. Get a few of those flakes in there. Garlic powder. fresh jug. Gotta crack it open. Some of that in there. Not too heavy, but got the onion powder. Some of that in there. Got some ginger. Just a little bit of that. Some of your boy here, a little bit more of that turmeric. Again, we got the regular stuff in there, so not too heavy on it. Paprika. And a good old classic, salt, and then of course, pepper. And let's just blend all of that goodness in. And like I said before, you're getting a lot of pigment here. Something that's very important for the eyes and the whole body, to get different colors, different flavors. And you know, biologically, we got all these different names: red, lycopene, and we got the yellows to red colors. We got the flavins and things going on. Zeaxanthins, canthaxanthin, whole lot of different pigment colors. They have different scientific names, but we got our yellows, red, orange, green, purple. We got aromatics in there. A lot of different smells and flavors and things going on. We got the onion working in there, the red onion, the sulfur content going on in there. So just a lot of good stuff going on in one dish. And like I said, the height of the time it takes for the dish has a lot to do with the cutting. So the prep time for this is quite high because of the cutting. You'll need at least an hour on the prep time. But the actual cooking phase, 20-30 minutes tops. So allow yourself about a 2.5 hour gap for the entire process in order for you to complete it. Alright guys, let's finish stir frying it up and let's go on to plating. Alright guys, here we are. Just got finished doing stir fry game. Here is our wok. Everything in there looking all nice and pretty. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to plate this. So get a good look at that. Alright, let's move this out the way. Let's get our plate there. And the old boys here. Let's put some in. All right, guys, so there you have it. There's the stir fry in a nutshell. We got all kinds of pigment, all kinds of color. Just look at that right there. Color, flavor, pigment, nutrients, everything that you need in a meal to enjoy the 40-day fruit fast. See what you guys can do to modify it a little bit. Maybe you want it to have a bit more of a savory taste, maybe a bit of a sweet taste. Maybe you found a way to add a sweet taste in there. Tell me, guys, in the comments what you think you would do to either improve this dish, make it prettier, maybe a little side dish on the side, maybe even add some juice to go with it. So, have fun in the kitchen, guys. Enjoy the 40-day fruit fast. This is Marvin Burwell showing you the stir-fry dish. Signing off. Urban Nerds Worldwide, baby. Catch you guys in the next video.